Hello, how are you? Deception, trickery, and lying are all qualities considered human traits. We often encounter people of this type, someone deceiving another, someone claiming something that never happened, or someone attributing something to themselves that isn't theirs. But are these traits exclusive to the human world, or can we find this in the animal kingdom? The amazing answer is yes. Many animals are masters of trickery and deception. What's surprising is that we're not talking about animals that are naturally cunning, like the fox, for example. We're talking about peaceful animals, some of them are even domesticated. Yet, despite this, they don't mind performing a few sneaky, not-so-great maneuvers from time to time. These acts of trickery and deception might be aimed at humans, other animals of different species and types, or even animals of their own kind. Welcome, I'm Firas, but before we start, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you get our videos first. If we start our list with dogs, it might be a little shocking, as dogs are known for their loyalty, kindness, and aversion to cunning and deceit. But this doesn't prevent dogs from pulling a few tricks and stunts when they want to convey a certain message. Let's clarify. One of the well-known habits of dogs is the habit of urine spraying. When a dog is in a certain area from time to time, it starts spraying its urine in scattered places with the intention of establishing its dominance and control over the area. So you find them spraying their urine on trees, house walls, street fire hydrants, and other such things. This way, if another dog approaches the area, it smells the scent and knows that a dog is present in the area and is in control of it. The point here is that researchers noticed a very strange thing done by small-sized dogs like the Whippet or the Norfolk Terrier, for example. When these small dogs spray their urine on trees, they lift their legs up very, very high at a noticeable rate so that their spray reaches the highest possible point on the tree. The reason for this is that the height of the spray reflects the dog's own height and size. Small dogs do this maneuver to essentially claim that they are much larger in front of other dogs who don't know the owner of the urine. If the other dogs notice that the spray height is low everywhere, they'll immediately know it's a small dog that's not fully in charge. That's why small dogs do this move, to deceive them and give themselves a bigger prestige than they deserve. The tricks and deception with dogs don't stop there. Marion Hebling, a researcher at the University of Zurich in Switzerland, noticed an extremely strange situation with her own dogs. She had a small, comfortable sleeping area for dogs in one room, but the spot was only big enough for one dog. Sure enough, one of the two dogs went and slept in the spot. The second dog was desperate to sleep in the same spot. So what did he do? He stood in front of the window and pretended to be amazed, as if he saw something strange happening in the garden, even though nothing was happening outside. The other dog, driven by curiosity, quickly got up from his spot to see what was happening outside. Our friend tricked him, quickly ran, and slept in his place. Researchers say that although dogs are naturally loyal and devoted to their owners, this doesn't stop them from doing certain maneuvers to achieve specific goals. They compare dogs to having a toddler's brain. They sometimes lie to get the things they want. The Eastern Gray Squirrel, whose native range is eastern North America and parts of Canada and Europe, gathers nuts and fruits when there is an abundance of food on the surrounding trees, and it buries them in specific holes in the ground to eat later when needed. This is common among all squirrels in general. But this particular squirrel does a very strange thing. When it comes to digging in the ground to hide its fruits, if it notices another squirrel watching it from a distance, it slowly puts the fruits it has in its mouth without the other squirrel noticing. Then it pretends to dig normally, enlarges the hole, and kicks up some dust in the air, all for the sake of conviction, to make the story believable and tell the other squirrel, "Look, I'm hiding the stuff right here." Then it digs more than one dummy hole next to each other and then covers all these holes back up empty. To fully commit to the act, it looks left and right, making sure no one is watching, and leaves the spot. All this time, the fruits are inside its mouth. It hasn't put them in any of the holes to make the other squirrel think it put the fruits in those holes. The second squirrel, like a gullible customer, goes to the holes and keeps digging, hopping to find them, but ultimately discovers the fruits aren't there. By that time, our first friend has gone to a new spot, dug a hole, buried its goods, and is all set. What's stranger is that squirrels don't just do this scenario with squirrels like themselves, they do it with humans too. If a squirrel sees humans watching it while it's burying the fruits in the ground, it performs the exact same move. It keeps digging, kicking up dust, messing up the area, then puts the nuts in its mouth and leaves the spot. The brown thornbill is a small, cute bird, averaging about 10 cm in length and 7 grams in weight, like a small chick living in the forest. Despite this bird has amazing deceptive abilities. It can trick birds and animals up to 40 times its size. To protect itself and its nest, this bird mimics the sounds of other birds in an incredible way. And this isn't just blind imitation. Let's give an example. When a honeyeater bird sees a falcon flying in the air, it starts making specific sounds to warn the birds and animals in the area. Now, if the brown thornbill is put in the same situation and sees a falcon flying in the sky and is afraid the falcon will approach its area, it starts mimicking the sound of a falcon, so the falcon in the sky is deceived and thinks there's another falcon in the area. It then avoids confrontation with the other falcon. What's even stranger is that when it sees a bird approaching the tree where its nest is, say, a pied currawong which resembles a crow, it does something very devious. It doesn't immediately mimic the sound of a falcon. First, it mimics the sound birds make when they see a falcon in the sky, as if they've spotted one and are warning the rest of the animals. The currawong hears these warning sounds and runs away from the area as well. This way, the trick is fully executed. From the world of the wild to the world of the sea, we meet one of the most famous creatures that practices deception, the cuttlefish. The cuttlefish is famous for using its incredible ability to change color for the purpose of camouflage or hunting. It also uses this color-changing mechanism during mating, and that's what interests us now. During mating season, the male cuttlefish typically colors itself with striped patterns, and the female colors herself with camouflage patterns. At this time, the larger males dominate the scene, and smaller males get no opportunity to mate at all. That's why they do something extremely bizarre. They let the large males court the female, perform moves, acrobatics, and exert a lot of effort to get the female into the mating mood. As soon as things are getting close, the small male intervenes, swims between the two, and divides the color of his body down the middle into two colors. The half facing the large male becomes camouflaged, resembling the color of the females, and the half facing the female remains striped like the males. The large male enters a state of confusion and doesn't understand what's happening. At this moment, the small male seizes the opportunity and deposits his sperm into the female and then flees the scene. This deceptive method is so successful that when researchers conducted an experiment on a group of male and female cuttlefish, they noticed that 80% of the mating acts that occurred were done by the small males, even though the other males were stronger and larger than them. All of this is due to the simple trick they perform. That's it, we're done. Who made it all the way here? Everyone who reached the end is the best. Now hit that like button before you leave so we know how many people finished.